Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Built to Exit with me, your humble host, Jason Sisneros. Today, you are in for an absolute treat. We've got one of my very good friends who has built a significant business. We've known each other for years and years and years, and I can't wait for you to meet him. I'm just going to go ahead and bring him on screen right now. What's up, Dan Fulkerson?
What's going on? Nice to be
Jay.
here.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, brother. And he owns. I'm gonna let you, because here's what's happened since we met: is you took what you had and you've grown it into a whole bunch of things that keep you busy. So I'm gonna say when we
Sure.
came together, we met because of a mutual friend of ours, and then we ended up coming in and working with y'all's team, which, by the way, even back then was spectacular and stupendous. And since then, you've gone on to do unbelievable things. And you had a successful business before we met. And what you've been able to do since then has been fantastic and amazing. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Dan Fulkerson. I'm the Bulldog lawyer with Bada Fulkerson Law Group. That's our main business is Bada Fulkerson, which is a full-scale personal injury firm. We have three offices. So we have an office in San Diego, we have an office in San Marcos, and we also have an office in Boise, Idaho. So our office, we have nearly 50 employees, 11 attorneys, and all we do is fully litigate, bad personal injury cases. So that's the main business. But thanks to you and our connection and your help, one of the reasons why we brought you in 6 years ago was to give us more bandwidth so we can do stuff outside of the business. And we've been able to build our systems and processes here in large part thanks to you. And as a result of that, now Paul and I have been able to go out and do a bunch of fun other things. We own all the Everbowls in San Diego now. We own a big part of Everbowl corporate. We did a Bitcoin mining project in Texas, and all those things are a lot of fun and have been very lucrative, but we would have never been able to do them if we didn't have systems and processes here at the law firm.
I love that. I love that. Tell us a little bit, because one of the things that is common amongst, my family, and I consider, both you and Paul, my family, is that you have a heart for giving. Talk to us a little bit about your charities and the work you do there.
So when we started the firm, like I'm very aware of the reputation of personal injury attorneys. Like even when I was introducing myself as, hey, I'm Dan Fulkerson, oh, what do you do? I would like internally shudder when I would have to say I'm a personal injury attorney. It
Mm.
just felt so sleazy watching how other attorneys that do what I do and how they operate and the reputation and realizing that the reputation is deserved, that so
Mm.
many people are just doing it for money and greed and they're not doing it for the right reasons and they don't really care about helping people. That when we started this firm, it was how can we build it completely opposite of that, and how can we at least change the reputation in our area. And so a big part of that was we wanted to be a community first firm. So we put money into a community fund with every case that we settle, and that money then grows as we grow and it goes back into the community. So I've been able to start several nonprofits. One of those nonprofits, we have adopted 8 local schools. So the 8 schools in San Diego that have the highest homeless rate in San Diego, and we've been able to come in and plug the gaps in those schools. And whether that's beautifying the campus or making sure that they have all the proper school supplies to funding field trips and things like that for students, like it's been a amazing life impacting venture that's all been from this firm. And we've been able to, I started a dog rescue. We've rescued hundreds of dogs just because of this community and what we've been able to do at Bada Fulkerson. So it's been amazing. And I try to urge every business owner, if you haven't already, build community service into your business, build it
Mm.
into your employee model, make sure that you're going and giving back, because what it gives to your office and your culture is so amazing. And I think that's why we don't have turnover here. And that's why we have people that show up when they're not required to on the weekends to get their job done, because they really care because of the culture we built. And a big part of that is the community giving.
Yeah, I love that. It's, you constantly, I like to have this conversation around, the two different types of business. Like there's companies that are these unethical capitalist type of businesses where they rise outside of the norms, the systems, the processes that keep it ethical. Right? I talk about this all the time about ethical capitalism is giving a crap about your community as you have and as you do. You're known as the Bulldog lawyer, in large part because of rescuing bulldogs, right? And not only that, but you are a bulldog. Your firm is a bulldog for your clients. On that side of it, but you look at it, and then you also care about your staff, right? You look at it. When we very first met, we had a very similar conversation, and it was, this is what I'm doing. But when I met your team, I was like, this is says more about you than the success of your business, is how your people feel about you and how you treat them.
It's
And I love that. And then on the other side of it, right, which is the business is supposed to fall in love with the outcome of your target audience, you obviously do that as well, right? You've kind of flipped all of these things on their head, and you've embedded and embodied ethical capitalism in a way that I'm always texting you how proud of you I am. You
you
know,
are, and I still appreciate it. You're the way you've been a big brother to me, and I just hope you understand how much that means to people, because I know you do that for a lot of people, and I know you don't have to, and I know how busy you are, and I just hope you understand the impact that has, just someone being there, just someone that's like, hey, I just want you to know I'm proud of you. That goes so far, and I've tried to do that for other people because I know the impact you've had on my life. So I hope you know the ripple effect of what you do.
Thank you, brother. It's always good to hear. It's always good to hear. So let's jump in.
For
Let's
sure.
jump. Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say
Oh
just
no, that was
let
it.
yeah, let's jump in a little bit into what caused you to want to become an attorney in the first place.
I came from Idaho, like I was a farm kid, and when I turned 18, I ran from the farm as quick as I could. I didn't want to clean any more horse stalls or do any more of the manual labor. And California was as opposite of a farm as I could get, and so I found myself in San Diego. But I didn't have any means. I was going to a community college trying to just survive, and when I got through my undergrad degree, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I didn't want to be poor. I just didn't want to struggle anymore. So to me, like I was like, okay, well, I can be an attorney or I can be a businessman. So I applied for my GMAT for my MBA, and I applied for my LSAT for law school, and I did well on both, and I got into both school programs, and so I didn't ended up doing both of them at the same time, just because it was like I couldn't make a decision. I wanted to do both programs, so I just put my head down, and I ended up doing my MBA and my law degree in about 2.5 years at the same time. And I just did one during the day and one at night, and just kind of put my head down and went. But it wasn't a good reason. Like I tell people all the time, like you need to find something that you love. Like that's what you should chase in life, is find like that career path that you love and that you're going to wake up and that you would do for free every day because you really enjoy it. I didn't go into the law like that. I went into law more of like desperation. Like I don't want to be broke anymore. I want to be able to have financial security for my family. I don't want to feel the way that I felt insecure for the last 10 years. And so that's what motivated me to go into law. Thank God I landed in something that I love, and I really do. It's not lip service. I love what I do. I love being able to help the people that I help. But I know a lot of people that chase careers just for money, and it doesn't end up that way. So I feel very fortunate that even though I may have gone into it for financial security, I found something that truly does touch my heart and that I love doing.
Yeah, it comes through. You're wearing a hoodie right now, and you've got a motorcycle behind you. And one of the things, like one of the first things I told you I was proud of you for was that building that you guys built, right? And it doesn't come down to the building. The business grows out of the heart of the business owner, or owners in your guys' case, in in truly serving your customers, right? And that's again on that ethical capitalist side. And I've just watched that continue to blossom, because you only had one location when we came and met with you, and now you're in 3 locations. And I
Yep.
know your long-term plan. This show is literally called Built to Exit, right? And the
Yep.
idea for business owners on the Built to Exit side is to make sure that you have, what is that freedom point for you? It's not that we're
For
ever
sure.
going to retire. I know you well enough. You're always doing something, and you're not going to retire anytime soon. But what is that moment where you become free, and making sure that that is the pinnacle of what you're doing, and then you can do what you love for the rest of your life and have more of an impact. As
For
you said,
sure.
I watch you in the charity space. None of that happens without what's called free cash flow, which is the king of all, owning all businesses. Everybody's like, oh, my profit this, oh, my top line sales that. That doesn't, free cash flow is where you know whether you're running a business or not, or if do you just have a job, right?
For sure.
Are you a business owner running hard, burning out, and still not getting ahead? I'm Jason Sisneros, founder of Built to Exit. I've bought, built, fixed, exited over 24 companies of my own. I've helped hundreds of business owners do the same. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably didn't start your business to be trapped in it. And yet, here you are, overwhelmed, underpaid, drowning in noise from fake gurus and recycled advice. Been there. Built to Exit isn't just another course. It's not a magic bullet, it's a system, a proven blueprint built from real-world experience, not theory. We help owners control the 3 things that really matter in business: price, the timing, and the terms of your exit. Whether that means more cash in your pocket now, more freedom starting today, or a full-blown exit strategy that lets you walk away on your own terms, our team knows how to get you there. So if you're done guessing, done with the excuses, and ready to win, visit builttoexit.biz today to schedule your free 15-minute strategy call with a senior advisor. We'll show you exactly where the leaks are in your business and how to fix them, because everybody exits. How you exit is the only thing that really matters. Builttoexit.biz. We play to win. Do you? So when you look back on your career, because as I said, one of the things that stood out to me in the very beginning was how differently you approached the business of having a business that is an attorney for people. What
Yeah.
shaped your foundational piece when you and Paul came together and said, let's go do this, and let's do this different than anything else? What shaped that decision, and what were those very specific decisions that you made?
I think the thing that we did different than other law firms is law firms usually just go with the generic, like, Tom and Short APC, or like whatever, make up a million names, Morgan and Morgan, you know what I mean? That's like the classic traditional law firm. We created a brand. Like, we created something that is bigger than just a law firm, and in all different ways. I mean, I remember our first year, I rolled out all this Bulldog merch, like for like a bunch of swag, shirts and hats, and people thought I was crazy. Like, what do you run a law firm and you're giving out hoodies and sweatshirts and t-shirts? Like, this is not a law firm. And I saw it early on that in order to be able to create what we wanted to create, you have to build an overall brand. You have to have fans. You have to have people in the community that are supporting and pushing you. And so we ended up giving out, like, I think the first year we gave out 1,000 shirts and spent more money than I would have liked when we didn't have money coming in. And you then have 1,000 people rolling around as your billboards. Like, you have
Right.
1,000 brand ambassadors out there in the world. And that clicked. I was like, I'm going to turn the marketing model on its head, because all these attorneys are going and spending on SEO, all this stuff. They're spending $2,500. That's the average case acquisition cost in my industry, is $2,500. So you're spending $2,500 to bring in a single case. That eats your margins if you're a pay to play type of firm. For me, I don't have an acquisition cost now, because I get most of my business from word of mouth because of what we've done and the brand that we've built. So if I print off a $25 hoodie and I have someone that has to come to my office to get the hoodie, they're going to show up because they're getting a nice hoodie that I paid $25 for. And it's not like this injured, call me today. I make them where they're clean. You want to wear them. They tie back to San Diego. They got dogs on it. It's a good brand. So you're showing up at my office. You get to meet me at my office. You get to come in. You get to see what we built. You get to meet us. You get to feel our energy. I can do that 100 times for the one case that you're buying for 2,500. Imagine that over the course of time. How many people that I've touched and impacted in this community just because they're coming in and meeting us? We now have a base where we never have to worry about spending money on marketing. We don't have to worry about that anymore because it's just naturally comes back in because of the relationships and the connections. And I think so many people miss that. They just go to the normal, what everyone else is doing. Okay, this is how much money I'm going to spend on SEO. I haven't spent money on SEO in 10 years. Like
Yeah.
I don't,
Well, I
because I
can give
just
you a
don't see
very
the yield from it.
I can give you a
So
very specific example of what you're talking about. You gave me, me and Joe, when we came out to help you, right? You gave me and Joe both shirts, and it's got this
yep,
badass bulldog on front of it that's wearing a suit, you know, and then on the back it has your
yep,
branding, and I've worn that in I can't tell
yep,
you how many gyms, how many places I've worn it. I can't tell you. And then I posted a couple of times. I posted my workout, and I was in your shirt, and I'm getting
yep.
comments about the shirt, right? And not what I said, or not, not how amazing I looked in it, but that's fine. I'll deal with that later. But at the end of the day, that was all branding for you because your name's on the back. Everybody asked me where it came from. I'm able to talk about you. I brag about you anyway, but that probably got your brand in front of 100,000 plus people, zero
Sure.
cost, right? Well, I mean the cost of the t-shirt, but zero cost.
Yeah, 10 bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
10
10 bucks.
bucks. Yeah.
And
Brilliant.
it's the personal relationships. Yeah, and you can have so much fun with it. Like, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Business should be fun, and people want business to be fun. They don't want the, oh, are you injured in an accident? Call us today. That's not what they're looking for. That's not, people want sincerity. They want real human connection. So we were able to, like, okay, now we got the t-shirts out. All right, what are we going to do next? Let's wrap all the cars. So we wrapped all the cars in crazy Bulldog advertising. We started a social media campaign. See them around town, take a picture of them, post them on your Instagram or Facebook, and tag us. We'll send you a Bulldog shirt, and we'll send you a $5 or $10 Starbucks card.
Yeah.
It's free marketing.
Yeah.
People are just posting my brand over and over and over again online. And guess what happens? Over time, after you've seen that 5 or 6 times and you're in an accident, I'm going to call the Bulldog guys. Just call the
Yeah.
Bulldog guys.
Yeah.
It just works. And so I think that was the biggest difference for us, is we created a brand. And I watch other firms that they still struggle with that. And they're good law firms, they're good lawyers, but they just don't know how to build a brand the right way. And then the thing that you taught me was systems and processes.
Mhm.
Most law firms are not built like businesses.
Right.
They just make enough money every month to survive. They pay their bills. They don't even know what their bills are. They don't know what's coming in, what's going out. They just know at the end of the month, there's enough money in there for them to pay their mortgage and survive to do it again. That
Yeah.
is not how you can run a successful business. You have to
Nope.
be able to forecast. You have to be able to know what's coming in and what's in the future. And I sit with lawyers all the time, and I try to tell them and teach them, not as well as you taught me, but I try to give them that wisdom, and I try to tell them to hire someone like you, bring someone in, understand your numbers and your books. Because when you came into our office, I think we were doing probably about 10 to 15 million bucks a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right
Yep.
around there. And it was like, it was a baby firm, just started. We're now 6 years after that. I think you came in right around 2019,
I
2020.
think
Am I
that's
right?
right. I don't want to admit it was that long ago,
I think,
but I think that's right.
I think it was like 5 years ago, but I mean, we're going to do $100 million this year. We'll bring in $100 million for our clients. So,
Yeah.
we've 10 times in 6 years, and a big part of that is systems and processes.
Yeah. And the team, again,
Yeah.
it's funny too, because
Yeah.
the conversation when we met, and I think that this is something really great for the people that follow me and will watch this, that are attorneys, is that there tends to be, um, and not in a negative way. I think to be an attorney, you have to have a healthy ego. I think you have to. So it's not a
I,
negative, but if you have that ego, and it keeps you from growing and learning and building a true business, then that stops you. Cause I don't know how long I bugged you after we became friends. I'm like, you know, hey, hey, come on, brother. Like, let's do something. And you're like, I'm doing, 10 million dollars. Like, that's incredible for somebody your age and for your industry. And that was already incredible. So I never ever like shamed you for it. I was just like, I know because of who you are, your heart, your partnership, the employees, the stuff that you wanted to do, that if you just popped in there business principles, that you were just going to crush it out of the stadium. So that's that talk a little bit about how you've gotten past that, because I watch you do it almost methodically, where you're doing better and better and better, and then you check your ego and you learn some new stuff, then you go to the next level, and then you know what I mean? Like, what is that thought process for you that you could teach someone else to say, hey, don't get in your own way, make really solid, clear decisions based on outcome?
You just don't know what you don't know. And when you're young, the ego takes over. And I'm glad you said it and I didn't have to, because I remember when you came in that first day, and I don't mean to just go back to when you came in because the podcast and you're hosting it, but it really was an impactful event in our office, but in my life. I remember how resistant I was out of just arrogance of like, who the fuck are you to come into my business and tell me what I don't know when I'm making money? You know what I mean? Like, I got the nice stuff. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, that's how I it
Uh,
took me. It took me after you left. It took me implementing and then watching the growth and watching me be able to take the shit off of my plate that I hated doing. And
mm,
that was the burnout shit. The stuff that's like, this will burn me out because I don't want to do this every day for the rest of my life. And
right.
being able to take that off my plate and put it on the side and focus on the value producing things that I know that I can do for this firm, that made me go, oh, you don't know what you don't know. And you really need to, anytime you're in a situation where you're like, ah, fuck you, you don't fucking know what you're talking about, you need to check yourself and go, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. And I
Mm,
need to be open to criticism and I need to be open to evolution. And even now, in a place where this year law firms strive to bring in $100 million over the course of their existence, and we're going to
yeah.
do it in 2025. And I'm
Right.
very, very proud of that. But even then, I will sit down next week and we'll go, hey, what do we need to change? What do we need to fix? What do we need to evolve for 2026 to make sure we're better that year than we were this year?
Yeah.
And I think that once you get to that place as an owner, the whole thing changes because it's not about your ego anymore. It's just about constant evolution and making sure that you're constantly doing things to get better. We expended $500,000 this year bringing AI into the business, not a $500,000 that I wanted to spend, but that's part of being a business owner. You have to invest in the future, and that will pay dividends for me for the next 10 years. So I'm one of the only firms in town that have done it. And you will see, I think, that we will continue to step and elevate ourselves from other places because of that investment. Those are the important things that you have to do. Same with paying attorneys. The thing that kills me is I have other lawyers that come around there. You haven't had a lawyer leave your office. How do you retain people? You fucking pay them. That like you if you're going to be greedy and keep all the money to yourself, people are going to either A, start their own thing, or they're going to jump ship. That it's self-preservation. Like you have to be able to take care of people the way that you would want to be taken care of. So I have a lawyer in my office. He'll clear $1 million this year. There's
Yeah.
nowhere else that you can go and you're going to make $1 million somewhere else. Like it just doesn't happen. But he will go and get the best results for all of our clients and he will kill it and it will help our reputation and we'll get more business and he gets to build his life and his family and buy a house and build all the things that I would want for someone that I love. So guess what? We all win. And people don't get out of their own way when it comes to compensation of key figure employees. You need to compensate these people.
Yeah. It's so true. And one of the things that we talked about in your office was the concept of WIFM. And WIFM is what's in it for me. Exactly what you just said in real world implementation, right? And I know that only owners who can have that idea that it I have a job, and unless I can get people to do it at least 80% as good as I can, in the best case, they're doing it 120% better, right? But it's that what's in it for me. That means the owner is now looking at the people that are trusting them with their time to come and work for them. You're asking that question of them. Not and most owners are sitting around going, "Well, what's in it for me?" And they're complaining about their employees. They're complaining about, "Oh, nobody works hard enough and it's hard to find good people and it's all that." Well, it's because you haven't flipped that yet to say what's I
100%.
got to ask the question, what's in it for people that work for me? What's in it for you? Why
100%.
are you working here? And then you set the job up for them to be successful in achieving their own outcomes. And you've
For
done a
sure.
masterful job at that. And I love seeing it. Hi, my name is Jason Sisneros, founder and chairman of Built to Exit, a world-class business consulting firm that's helped hundreds of clients and thousands of business owners fix, scale, and successfully master their companies. Let me ask you a question. Are you serious about changing the direction of your business, but you don't have the funds to bring in a high-level consulting team? Well, then keep watching. We created the Built to Exit system specifically for entrepreneurs like you. Whether you're a startup trying to avoid costly mistakes or a seasoned owner stuck in a plateau or a downturn, this do-it-yourself system is your answer. Now, this course isn't easy. It's not a gimmick. It's not sugar-coated motivational feel-good fest if you know me at all. It's a graduate level masterclass built from decades of business ownership, consulting, and real-world results. If you're willing to do the work and follow the blueprint we use with companies that pay us 5 and 6 figures, you will finally have a system that gives you time freedom, financial control, and a clear path to a successful exit. So if you're serious about building a business that works with or without you, go to www.b2xsystem.com right now, because everybody exits. The only question is how. It's so true. And one of the things that we talked about in your office was the concept of WIFM. And WIFM is what's in it for me. Exactly what you just said in real world implementation, right? And I know that only owners who can have that idea that it I have a job, and unless I can get people to do it at least 80% as good as I can, in the best case, they're doing it 120% better, right? But it's that what's in it for me. That means the owner is now looking at the people that are trusting them with their time to come and work for them. You're asking that question of them. Not and most owners are sitting around going, "Well, what's in it for me?" And they're complaining about their employees. They're complaining about, "Oh, nobody works hard enough and it's hard to find good people and it's all that." Well, it's because you haven't flipped that yet to say what's I
100%.
got to ask the question, what's in it for people that work for me? What's in it for you? Why
100%.
are you working here? And then you set the job up for them to be successful in achieving their own outcomes. And you've
For
done a
sure.
masterful job at that. And I love seeing it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that because people forget so quick. We're all the main characters in our own story.
Amen. Amen, brother. Amen. Well, talk a little bit about for those people that are watching that are attorneys, and really any business owner at this point in time. What do you see coming on the AI front that's going to change your industry, and what are you doing specifically that you would suggest other people do?
We're going to see radical change in personal injury, especially over the next 5 years. We're seeing it in California already. Uber is pushing $500 million for tort reform next year. They're going to try to cap attorneys' fees. It'll be devastating. You'll see if it goes through, which it very well might. You'll see 75% of personal injury firms close in California, and that's
Yeah.
not an overstatement. You will see 75% of firms close in California. So
Mm.
it's staying ahead of stuff. Right? We opened up, we bought a building in Idaho. We opened up an office in Idaho. I have hedges in place. I see these things coming, so I'm aware ahead of time. Yes, they'll impact us, but it won't cripple us, and we will still be here and we will survive. But AI is something that all firms need to look at. There's a lot of breakthroughs in companies. I had a company that came to me 2 years ago and presented me with an AI system. And I just told them, I was like, it doesn't make sense. Like X, Y, and Z need to be better. This isn't there yet. They came to me about 6 months ago, and my jaw hit the floor in how advanced the technology had gotten in just 18 months and the
Yeah.
things that it could do from where they brought it to where it is now. And so instantly my mind said, well, where is it going to be in 18 months from now? And
Yeah.
where is it going to be in 18 months from there? And
Mm.
so I want to get on the train now while I can before the train's going 100 miles an hour past me. And
Yeah.
so that's why I invested and that's why I jumped in, because I realized, yes, it don't get me wrong, it already is overly impactful for my office, but what it will be next year and the year after that, and what it will allow us to do on a growth scale will be significant, because I won't have to go hire another 20 people as I grow. The
Yeah.
AI will help me. I'm not going to get rid of anyone that I have. You know me well enough to know that's not how I roll. I don't
Nope.
do it as an elimination tactic. I do it so I don't have to keep hiring people. We got 50 people. I got
Mhm.
space issues. We took over the building across the street because I don't have places to put people. So this will allow us to continue to grow, but without having to bring bodies in. And
Mm.
I think that so many firms, when you cap attorney's fees and you cut margins and you're still paying for cases, if you don't have the ability to play with your overhead with stuff like that, you will die. And
Yeah.
so AI is going to be another tool that you can use to help play with your overhead and make sure that you can survive through what's coming. Because guess what? 5, 10 years from now, you're going to have a lot of self-driving cars. There's going to be a lot less car accidents. There's going to be a lot less of that going on. If
Yeah.
you're not prepared for that, it's going to slap you in your face.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great advice. Always looking down, and I love that process, right? Which is I learned it from Keith Cunningham, which is the Rich Dad and the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, right? I have it on a yellow Post-it note wherever I happen to have my offices, and it simply states, "Not so fast, cowboy. What don't I see?" Right? It's a WDIS. I think about it constantly. What don't I see about this deal? We got heavily invested in AI, right? And I was like, what don't I see? So that eliminated about 80% of the things that I wanted to do, but I didn't do because I asked that question, right? Looking at it down the road, and same thing in healthcare, and same thing in cannabis, and same thing in what we're doing now, which is helping people very specifically package their company up to be sold. And on the
Yep,
sell side, right, on your side, when you and I have conversations, it's about making sure that you and Paul and your team, if there ever is anything down the road, that it's set up on in your favor instead of
for
the
sure.
PE firm or the buyer or whatever it is, which is the way that it normally works. So, tell me one thing real quick before we kind of wrap up the show. You mentioned something earlier, and one of our premises that we teach very deeply is to make sure that you fall in love with the outcome of your target audience. And you mentioned something earlier, and I want you to expand on it a little bit. When somebody is seeking out an attorney's firm like yours in the personal injury
Yep.
space, what are they looking for?
They want a human being that they know, yes, is very good at what they do and has a certain talent and skill set, but they want a person that they can trust. And
Mm.
that's what I've seen, is that there needs to be a human connection where they intuitively know that this is more than just money for you and that you are going to do right by their family. And that's why I meet with every client myself. And people think that's bad shit, but I need to. I need to, because I need to be able to get to know them on a human level. I want to get to know them on a human level. I need to understand how this impacts their life on a very personal level that if I just am outside of the case, I can't know. So
Mm.
there's a trust aspect to this. And I have clients that go to 5, 6 other law firms, and then they come to my office and we sit down together, and I'm dressed like this. They're
Right.
going in suit and tie, and here's my Rolex, like, and they come in here and I'm dressed like a child,
Right.
and we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation, and 95% of the time they're going with us, because after having a conversation, they're like, you actually give a shit. You actually are a human being. I'm going to get your
Right.
cell phone. I can call you on a Saturday if I need something.
Yeah.
Like they just intuitively know. And that is such a critical part of everything that you do. And it's the same thing with you. It's the same thing why I gave you my trust and was like, hey, I've been resistant to it, but I'd like your team to come in because I could feel it on you that you gave a shit. It
Yeah.
wasn't just a transaction where you're like, hey, bring me on as a consultant. I'm going to make some money. My team's going to make some money. Great, win. No, it was you gave a shit about me. You
Mhm.
cared about the outcome. You followed up even when you didn't have to follow up, right? Like
Mhm.
that is the difference. And that's like why I'm so grateful that I picked the right law partner, and picking the right business partner is like picking a spouse. Make sure you pick the right one. My law partner is one of the most sincere human beings that you'll ever meet. Like he's the guy that's like, we have a client that lost her legs in an accident. There was $15,000 there, and she's got 3 kids. This dude sends her kids birthday presents and Christmas presents every single year. He got them all iPads last year for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's Paul. That's
Yeah.
Paul. We did the case for free. We made $0, and we'll lose over the course of time 20 grand just helping out her family and her kids. But that's Paul.
Yeah.
And you cannot it's hard to be able to teach those differences. It's just who you are as a person, right? And you have to be that. It has to be sincere. And I get like emotional thinking about it because I'm just so grateful that I've been lucky enough in life to surround myself with people that bring out that in me.
Mhm. Yeah. I love that. Paul, you can't like it's hard to think of Paul ever being angry. You know, he's such
I've never seen him yell. We've never fought. The only fight in 15 years that we've had, in 10 years as law partners building this business, the only fight we've ever had is how many dogs I'm allowed to bring to the office. That's the fight.
That's a
And
fight.
I won. I won.
Yeah, he came out and hung out with us at one of our events, and he just makes an impact wherever he goes because of his heart. And and you have that soft side, and then you have, you're all heart, but you're more like me. It's more like, we're gonna fight for shit for people, and Paul's more like, I'm gonna love people. It's like it's a yin and yang. I have it with Carlos, right, on my team, and Joe, like,
I'm a bad cop, and I know I'm the bad cop.
and it's a mantle that I love to wear as well. But things don't move sometimes without people. But love is an action, right? And so Paul goes about love with his actions, and you and I go about love with our actions. The issue that I think and I did a show on this called the give a shit quotient, right? Literally called it that. And the idea is that as long as it's coming from love and service, it's very difficult to make a mistake for your customers, as long as you're coming from that perspective, and your employees and your community. And that, as long as you're coming from that space, it's very difficult to make a mistake, right? Because it's
For
not
sure.
me centered. And I think that that's one of the bigger things that I see out of your firm, is that everybody in your organization comes from that space. Everybody. And everybody that I have ever met comes from that same exact space out of your business. And that's special.
It's a blessing.
That's special. Yeah, it's very impressive. Cool. Well, let's see. What parting shots do you have for people? What advice, what question didn't I ask you wish I would have?
Well, I was just going to tell you, you'll get a chuckle out of this. Paul was up on the roof yesterday fixing the lights, and I
Yeah.
literally told him, "You want me to have Jason burn a trash can full of your money to prove the point again that you waste your time on shit you shouldn't be doing?" He started laughing. So figured you get a good.
I'll
Uh,
send him a text.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah,
Just a reminder.
I will.
No, like I want to thank you. That's why I appreciate the opportunity. I hope that other business owners that have maybe been on the fence like I was listen to this, and maybe it's a push for them to go, hey, it's time to invest in my business because you're going to get dividends out of it, and you'll look back and be very thankful that you did. But other than that, like anyone has any questions, anyone needs anything, I'm always available, always happy to answer questions. Like, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I just appreciate the opportunity of coming on and being able to share. And anything that I can do for anyone out there, please just reach out.
Yeah, and he means that, guys. He does mean that. I don't. It's not just something he says. I think you dropped a lot of value, not just for attorneys, but for business owners, on how you've been able to build, $100 million plus business, and not including your other ventures that you put into. And again, it's just I cannot overstate the idea of being a good human being, and you
100%.
resonate with that. Like, you're my brother for life. I'm proud of everything that you're doing, but just being a good person and not playing the game of all of these chest thumping, egotistical, it does nothing but um, make you suffer, right? It just brings suffering when you're selfish instead of selfless. And I, watched you get married. Like, it's just unbelievable to be watching your life, brother. And I'm so proud of you. Proud to call you my brother. And the only thing that I hope for you and I's future is that we're able to spend a little bit more time together.
We need to. I'm going to come visit you guys in South Carolina.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. And we're always out there, but unfortunately it's for other reasons, doing the
Yeah.
rescues and stuff. But we'll make some time, brother. And thanks again for coming on the show. Thanks for dropping your knowledge. Truly, truly appreciate it. And we'll be in touch very soon.
Sounds good. I love you, man.
Love you more. Well, that was it. That was my dear friend, Dan Fulkerson. You can follow him anywhere you want to follow him. Get to him on Instagram, get to him on Facebook, follow his firm, Bada Fulkerson. He's always adding value, and he may be involved in a couple of charities. I know a lot of you love animals, so make sure that you get in touch. And obviously, if anybody in your family is in trouble, I would call them first, even if it's not in your town. They don't exist. He's helped multiple friends of mine where I'm like, look, I just got to have them talk to Dan. Wherever they are in the country, he will refer you to the right people that behave as he behaves and treat you as he treats his customers. So thanks again. Make sure you share this episode with whoever you think needs it. And thanks for being here. Thanks for all of the new folks that have been following. Welcome. And to everybody that's been with me for years, thank you so much for your loyalty. We'll see you in the next episode. I'm Jason Sisneros for the entire Built to Exit team. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Peace.